Good day, everybody. Welcome to the show. And yes, it is time to let out the chickens again and chat. And they can hear me already. They're excited to get out. They actually just experienced snow the other day. They were not terribly happy about that. But now it's all melted away, so they're coming back out. Very exciting. Hello, fluffies. That's what we call these two big chubby ones. And they're very happy. Their training is still going okay. Still avoiding the beds. But let me turn it around here and chat with you guys this morning. How about that? There you all are. How are you guys? I have been well myself. My life is still sort of taken up by endless battles against the government. As those of you who've kept up with the show know, I live in British Columbia, and that's in Canada, and unfortunately, that puts me in one of the jurisdictions that are still crazy about measures, crazy about restrictions, don't know how to get out of the hysteria, and so on and so forth. But we're actually even worse than the average. My jurisdiction is one of those places that not only threaten to fire good quality frontline staff over their vaccination statuses, my jurisdiction is one of the ones that followed through on actually firing the healthcare workers, for example, and I mean all healthcare workers, not just long-term care workers, not just certain specific ones, but even if you were an IT guy working for the healthcare system and working from home the last 18 months, even you got canned for not getting your shots, which was quite the insanity. So my wife is one of the unvaccinated healthcare workers. Natalie, those who follow the channel have seen her several times before. And as a result of this policy, she is now canned. She doesn't have a job, despite the fact that she's actually one of the best techs, best healthcare workers that I've ever seen. And she works in a laboratory where they were extremely short-handed the last couple years and couldn't afford to lose anyone. Yet they fired her, as well as one other co-worker, as well as several people called lab assistants who are responsible for the actual blood collection. Also a group of people that they're very short-handed on and can't afford to lose. And they fired about 3 or 4 of them in my wife's relatively small hospital. That's resulted in the closure of a local blood collections lab, and now local citizens of my town can't get their routine blood collections done in a timely manner, all supposedly in order to combat COVID. It's the strangest thing. However, Natalie's a trooper, so she's already moved on to some full-time schooling and she should have another job soon. But yeah, the madness of it has been quite the thing. And when your government is acting this crazy, dealing with the government takes up a lot of your time. Like, I've still been doing a lot of protests and so on. And by the way, your media awareness level and the quality of your media sources is easily determinable by whether or not you are aware that over the last several weeks and months, there have been growing and absolutely massive protests all over the world in all places where people are trying to come down harder and harder in terms of restrictions and measures. Those who followed the channel a while are aware that I've been fighting this for a very long time. I made videos a year and a half ago or even longer ago explaining why this is a hysteria, why this is going to lead to erosion of civil rights and liberties, and why this was all way, way more dangerous than the virus, which wasn't even as dangerous as the media was making it out to be. So I've been on top of this for quite a while, but some people are just sort of right now catching on where they're like, okay, do I get a booster or do I finally admit that I've been lied to? And it's been quite hard on some folks to realize just how dangerous of a treadmill they've gotten on as far as their medical autonomy and so forth. Some people are only realizing it now when they see signage such as this. This is a piece of signage out of Ireland, I guess, that's basically being quite open about telling you that, hey, we're just going to basically make you take boosters until you agree not to take them, and we'll invalidate your health passport or whatever as much as we need to invalidate it. And all these things that you've previously considered to be your rights, well, those are now your privileges. And if that all sounds good to you, well, then come on in and get your next booster. But yeah, the fight continues. As a former cannabis activist, I am more than accustomed to fighting what appears to be a losing battle against a media and government that is oblivious to what the correct policy outcomes should be. So we continue. Other than that, I did want to mention with the whole crypto markets dipping and the Ethereum merge being delayed and all that. Some people might have been wondering how that impacts my crypto trading fundamental strategy that I mentioned a couple months ago. Well, the long answer short is that it doesn't impact it, it just delays it. I'm still waiting for the Ethereum 2.0 merge in order to briefly dump all my Ethereum holdings. I'll still then be converting them into some kind of stable coin or gold pegged coin, and then converting it back into Ethereum at the bottom of the merge dump. It's just a question of when is that going to happen, and that obviously depends on when the Ethereum developers finally get the merge going. So nothing's really changed. I haven't really changed any of my holdings or positions, but yeah, that's the situation. So yeah, on that note, folks, I hope this brief update video was useful to you. If it was, subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you all next time.